Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in each and every week to see what videos I come up with. And this week I've come up with a hair video on how to round brush hair, and I am featuring one of my bespoke styling custom units. This is Tani. You've seen her time and time again on my channel. She's one of my favorite units, and this is one of my favorite ways to style her, to give her body and volume. That's the great thing about round brushing hair, is that it gives nice volume and body. So of course, before I started this video, I shampooed and conditioned this unit with It's a 10 shampoo and conditioner from the keratin line, just for strength. And I put the unit in a hooded dryer for about 15, almost 20 minutes to dry until it was about 80% dry. So that's pro tip number one. Before you begin round brushing, you need the hair to not be 100% wet, because that's just going to take a lot of time and be very hard on you and very cumbersome to do. So for units and for wavy hair, I would say get it about 70 to 80% dry. For curlier textured hair, maybe about 50 to 60% dry before you start going in with your round brush. What I like to do when I'm round brushing, after I've round brushed a section, is to spin it around my round brush and then pin it into a pin curl. So as you can see, there's the curl, and I'm going to pin it for later. Don't worry, I'm going to show you how I created the curl and how I really go through and round brush it. So don't worry if you missed it, you're going to see it a few more times on this video. Ta-da! So when you pick up your piece to round brush, you need to start at the root and really blow dry that out, and use that round brush to pull and some tension. If you can see, I'm using my thumb to hold the hair on the round brush just until I get it nice and straight. So these first few passes with the round brush are really just to straighten. And as you can see, as I move down the hair strand, I'm just rolling that round brush, rolling the hair around the round brush, and that gives you that little curve. So I'm going to do that a few times. And another pro tip is to do this technique, rolling it down the hair strand in all different directions. So forward, to the side, to the back, just making sure that you're really separating that hair in all different kind of directions. That's what gives you the volume and the body. Now that I have it dried how I like it, what I'm going to do is roll that hair around the brush and then twist it. And as you can see, it fell into a spiral curl. I'm just going to pick that curl right on up and then pin it. And it's really that simple, you guys. You don't have to make it super hard. So I'm just going to go ahead and start fast forwarding this video and doing this technique all over the head. Again, I am really focusing on the root, and as I go down the hair shaft, I start rolling my brush. Right on the ends, again getting a nice roll, and then switching directions and doing the same thing again. Try to hit all four directions, okay? Go above the hair, up under the hair, on both sides, and roll that round brush all around. Another little pro tip, if you don't have time to pin the curls, is to leave the brush in the hair until it completely cools and then spiral it out. That way the curl is setting before you let the brush out, and then you don't have to necessarily go back and pin curl it how I'm doing now. When taking sections for your round brush, you want the sections to be no bigger than the diameter of your brush. So if you have a 1-inch round brush, then you should have about a 1-inch section for your round brush style. Quick side note, you guys, I just wanted to tell you how I learned to round brush, because if we're going to be honest, you don't find many black stylists that know how or actually enjoy round brushing hair. I'm not saying that there aren't any out there, but it's not common in the African American salon. And I started round brushing in Colorado. I worked on post at Peterson Air Force Base and at Fort Carson in Colorado Springs. Shout out to Colorado Springs. And I worked on base, and we used to round brush all day. Those women did not like heat tools, hot tools, so you had to learn how to style that hair with just a brush. And they wanted a full style, honey. Don't cut any corners. So I had to learn quickly how to round brush some hair, okay? And what I like to say, especially when I'm round brushing around the front of the face and the top of the head, you have to think about it as if you're doing a roller set. So if you're doing a roller set and you want the curls to sit a certain way, you might over direct them on the top of the head so that you really get that volume. So if I wanted that when I'm round brushing, I would do the same thing. I understand that that might sound like a lot of hairstylist jargon, so let me break that down a little bit more. Over directing the hair is when you push the hair forward. So if I want the top of my head to have a lot of volume and body, I'm going to blow dry the hair forward so that when it falls back, it has a little bit more height. These are all of the little techniques that I learned while working at Stylique in Colorado Springs. And although that job we literally were getting paid maybe $10 extra to have people get their hair round brushed, and I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but that was such great on the job training for later on in my career, and I am so appreciative of it. So I just say all of that to say that humble beginnings make grand endings. Trust and believe. This is a direct example of over directing. As you can see, as I'm blow drying, I'm pushing the hair forward so that when it falls, it has more height. And you can over direct even if you're doing blow drying in different directions. Just make sure that the brush isn't pulled down, that is pulled either at a 90-degree angle away from the head or further. If you've made it this far in the video, you're a real one, and you need to make sure that you have subscribed. Also, to my returning subscribers, have you joined my Patreon yet? If you have not joined my Patreon, make sure that you click the link down below in the description box so that you get access to exclusive content, live streams, early access to my videos, as well as live stream playlists. So you get access to all of my past live streams because I have taken those off of my page so you can't see them, alright? So that the regular public can't see them. That is special just for my Patreons. So make sure that you click the link below and join my Patreon. And right here at the front of the hair, again, over directing, pushing it forward so that I have all that body and volume and va-va-va-boom-ness. Honey, yes. And you see what I'm doing, how I'm holding that brush there? That's what I mean about letting it cool. I'm going to let that brush cool before I release it. And that's going to go ahead and set the curl. And all I'm doing right here, you guys, is just kind of placing how I want my bang to fall. Because when I go ahead and pin it, I want it to set how I want it to fall when I put it on my head. That's it. Here you go, baby. The end result. I added no heat to this. This is a fully round brushed style. Look at that hair blowing in the wind. Yes. I'll see y'all next week, you guys, for another video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you're subscribed. Peace.